He's Mark Jackson, Golden State head coach and former lead analyst at the Mothership on their basketball coverage. How you been, man?
Man, everything's good. Thanks for having me. Good to hear you.
How much fun did you have this year, first year as head coach?
I had a lot of fun, and the reason why is I put together an incredible staff. I was working for, a great owner and great front office, and I had a locker room that bought in, and we really had a lot of fun. Didn't accomplish what we wanted to accomplish, but at the end of the day, we felt like we made steps towards, where we want to be. It's going to be exciting in the future.
And you got a young nucleus there. I love what Klay Thompson did, and not just a spot-up guy. I saw him hitting some shots off the dribble. Curry, that long term with his ankle. Give me an update on him.
Well, I had surgery last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, and it went very well. So, recovery process. They say 3 to 4 months, but at the end of the day, it's a step that he had to take, and I'm excited to know that he'll be back at 100%. Come day one in preseason next year. So we need him, and we need him healthy.
What did you do wrong your first year?
Probably wasn't on the Dan Patrick Show too often. I mean, at the end of the day, I came in looking to do big things, and I felt like I was going to get a call every week to give you a breakdown of how we were dominating not only the Western Conference but throughout the league. So I think that's the one thing that I just wasn't able to grab hold of.
But you understand why I went with Mike Brown instead of you.
Oh, man, do I understand? You went with Mike Brown for what?
To be on the show instead of you.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had to have somebody who was relevant, that I didn't have to wait too long to, look in the standings to find him.
Well, guess what? Be careful, because at least you could have given me a call, so then now it would have set up when I am relevant, like you really care about me, like we used to have that relationship, Oh, don't worry about it. I understand. But Mike Brown has done a heck of a job, so you got quality at least.
You played the Lakers this year. The difference in Phil Jackson coaching them and Mike Brown was what?
Well, Phil Jackson is, arguably the greatest coach in professional basketball history. So at the end of the day, it's not really fair to compare the two.
But styles.
What I will say, I think the style is different because paying attention to detail on the defensive end. Now when you play the Lakers, you get an idea how they're going to defend the pick and roll, how they're playing certain situations where there were times in the past covering them defensively where you didn't know how they were going to defend a certain situation. And that's awfully tough to do. You become a great defensive team by breaking stuff down and knowing how you're supposed to defend it and whose fault it is when they're not there.
Talking to Mark Jackson, Golden State head coach, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Did you hear when your consultant, Jerry West, was on? He was answering the charges of the fact that you guys could be tanking games. Seton, do you have Jerry West from a couple of weeks ago? Give me a second on that, Mark. But he was upset. You guys dealt with a lot of injuries there, and he just basically said, you know what, we're not tanking games, but.
Well, let me let you know, first of all, my guy John Fahey, my vice president in video, watches the show every day. So I can't go into my video room without watching your face and listening to the show every single day. So he's listening now, so shout out to him. So I did hear Jerry West talk about the allegations of us tanking, and rightfully so, he was upset about it because at the end of the day, we had legitimate injuries last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Steph Curry gets surgery. David Lee has surgery. Andrew Bogut has surgery. 3 guys, 3 best players out. Nate Robinson goes for 30 the next day in practice. Basically, he's out the rest of the year. We had legitimate injuries where it was nothing we could do. We were playing 3 and 4 rookies, and the last game started 5 rookies. So that's who we were at the end. But I give them credit. They battled, they scratched, they clawed, and we were a no-excuse basketball team.
What I love about Mark is years ago when we were working together at ABC, and we were talking off camera, and we were talking about Kobe and Michael Jordan, the comparisons, and he stood up for Kobe and said, you know what, he may be better than Michael when it's all said and done. So you stood with that, you stood by that. I still don't agree that could be recognized as better than MJ. right? Have you finally said, okay, he's gone as far as he can go?
No, I haven't said that. And I did not say, I said he's in the discussion. At the end of the day, we'll be able to have a dialogue, actual debate on who's better. He will make a legitimate case where he's in the discussion. There's nobody else that's ever played the shooting guard position that's in the discussion.
Who would you take, though? Who would you take one game to win?
Today I'm taking Michael Jordan.
Who would you take last shot?
It depends on what that last shot is. I mean, Kobe Bryant is a far superior jump shooter than Michael Jordan ever was.
I would take Kobe last shot. I would take Michael Jordan last game.
Okay. Yeah, Gary, would you take anybody else over Jordan last shot?
I
didn't mean to flip this into my show. It's the Mark Jackson show.
That's all right. That's all right. Let me see. Who else? I'd have to put Bird in there. If it's, I need a 3. Obviously Reggie Miller. But
there you go. Now you're playing the Reggie card. Okay, I'm taking Reggie too. Then, just in case you play this back, I'm taking Reg too. My guy, Hall of Fame.
No, you had your chance. I just think if I have one shot, I trust Kobe as a jump shooter better than I do Jordan, and I think Kobe can get to the hoop. But I would take my last shot. I want Kobe over Michael.
Well, I understand what you're saying.
With that?
I think I'm fine with that. I think Michael was far superior attacking the paint area and getting to the cup, where Kobe is far superior shooting the basketball. But you can't go wrong either way. And at the end of the day, what I was saying was, choosing sides at the end of the day, and you won the first pick, and you took Michael Jordan. There was a day where I would have been upset because I didn't get the first pick. At the end of the day, I'll be fine with taking Kobe Bryant, and then we will continue to pick.
Well, let's stir this up. Dirk Nowitzki, Larry Bird, when they're all said and done, who's recognized as the better player?
I would say Larry Bird, and it's close. People thought I was crazy when I said that too, but Dirk Nowitzki is a 7-footer that is a pure shooter. You can't defend him because you go small, he can post you. You go taller, he can go by you and get to his spot. He's going to get to his spot no matter who defends him. But I think Larry Bird, making an all-defensive team and an all-time great passer, his competitive spirit, he gets the edge.
Did he ever talk trash to you?
Oh, he always talked trash to everybody. I mean, that's who he was.
Yeah, but what would he say to you?
He basically, you may switch on him in a pick and roll, and he'd say, I'm going to take 2 dribbles to the left, pump fake once, and then shoot it off the glass in your face. And sure enough, you're ready for it, but he did it. That was Larry Legend.
Before I let you go with Derrick Rose out now and the Heat, you got him penciled in, or you using pen to put him in the finals?
I think you got to go with the Heat. And I would say, you're using pen. I think the Boston Celtics, the veteran team, they understand what it takes. They can be a dangerous team facing Miami, but at the end of the day, I would say the Miami Heat comes out of the Eastern Conference and represents that conference in the finals.
Against?
You can go any way.
No. Where are you going?
Oh, my goodness. I think San Antonio, Oklahoma City, and the Lakers are the top 3 and the only ones that have a legitimate chance. So I would say, oh, my goodness, I'm going to go out on a limb and take I'm going to take the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, look at you.
In a surprise upset.
Wow. Are you taking Lakers to win it?
No. This is the Western Conference.
Okay, but you said in an upset. I mean, they should be good.
No, they shouldn't win the West. According to the stats, you got 2 teams better than them in San Antonio and Oklahoma City.
Yeah, playoff basketball is different. All right, so Lakers, Heat, and LeBron gets his title?
I do have a German Shepherd, as you stated a little while ago, so I'm not afraid to call it. Miami Heat will win the championship.
It's good to visit with you. I'm glad you did buy a dog because you're afraid. You know that?
My guy for life.
All those years when I'd say, Mark, if you're afraid, buy a dog. And what did you do? You went out and bought a German Shepherd. Didn't you buy 2 dogs? You got 2 dogs, don't you?
Oh, man. I actually have 3 dogs. So you got me.
Hey, good to visit with you, man. Hope family's good. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mark Jackson.